Joining me today, I have Winnipeg's Mayor Scott Gillingham taking time out of his very busy schedule. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, I'm honored to be here today, especially as we celebrate your 25th, CHVN's 25th birthday. I've been around the city of Winnipeg for quite a while. I can't believe it's been 25 years already that CHVN has been on the air. So happy birthday.
Thank you so much. And I want to touch on that a little bit, if that's okay. So you presented us with an award or
I did, yes. So
Service award,
yes, in celebration of CHVN's 25th anniversary, I did present a Mayor's Award. It's a community service award for really what it says. It's for in recognition of your 25th anniversary. I hereby recognize CHVN 95.1 FM as an exemplary organization whose excellent leadership in the field of community service is greatly appreciated. In a world where there is so much negative news and heavy subjects always, in a world where so many people can use their microphones for division, CHVN consistently, daily, all the time is positive, uplifting, encouraging. And I know I, like many other Winnipeggers and Manitobans, will tune in to your station to be encouraged and find some hope. And so it's a recognition of all that CHVN has done. And I wish you 25 more successful years.
Well, we really, really appreciate it, and I try not to ever take this platform for granted. Because like you said, it's something that can be done easily, I think. And I do want to encourage people. So that's always the hope.
Yeah, that's great.
Let's chat a little bit about, we're coming out of summer, going into fall. Any highlights for you as mayor, even personally this summer?
Well, personally this summer we had some great family news. We had a wedding in the family. Our son got married, so that was very, very exciting. But it was a good summer. And in Winnipeg, summer is a wonderful time of the year. I know, it's construction season, which maybe is not good. Thank you to all your listeners for your patience as you're driving through the streets of Winnipeg and you've got lane closures. All that is about trying to make the streets better and improve the infrastructure in Winnipeg. So thank you for your patience. But summer is also a time for Winnipeggers where we enjoy so many great festivals, whether it's Jazz Fest or Folk Fest or Folklorama, Fringe Fest. There's so many fun things that are happening in Winnipeg and throughout Manitoba. And so it's been a really, really good summer. Now as we head into the fall, our new transit system will really be put to the test. It's a whole new system, and some of your listeners, no doubt, are experiencing that if they're transit users. I encourage everyone to be patient, but I do ask everyone using transit, if you could take time to send in an email to talk to us about your experience with transit. Some things on the new system are working really, really well. We're getting a lot of positive comments. Others are saying that there's, it's taking too long. Their connections are not working the way they hoped. And so we do need to make some changes to the new system, but we're going to make it on the feedback of the public. So that's why getting those messages in to Winnipeg Transit are really, really important.
Really quick, since you brought it up, what is the address that they can email to? Do you know?
You can go to 311
.ca,
the Winnipeg's Winnipeg.ca, the 311, or just go to Winnipeg.ca Transit, and you'll find a place there that you can send in an email just to talk about your experience with transit.
Perfect. A big topic in the city right now is people experiencing homelessness. The amount of people that are experiencing that has grown and grown, unfortunately. I'd love to hear your view on how to address this and encampments with compassion and what that looks like for you as mayor.
It is, homelessness continues to be a big, big challenge within our city. We are not alone. If you look at any major city across Canada and the United States, everyone's having the same challenges with too many people struggling in our streets. I'm the co-chair, or probably not the co-chair, but the vice chair of the Big City Mayors Caucus. So it's all the big cities in Canada, and we, as mayors, we meet and talk on a regular basis. Every mayor, every city has the same challenges that Winnipeg has. One of the things that we're doing as a city of Winnipeg is we're committed to a partnership with the province of Manitoba, who has rolled out a plan to deal with homelessness and to get people who are struggling with homelessness off the street, out of their tents, and into housing with wraparound supports. The provincial plan is called Your Way Home. the city is a full partner, working with the province and frontline agencies like Main Street Project, St. Boniface Street Links, West End Women's Resource Center, Siloam Mission, all Salvation Army. We're all partners in this plan. The key is housing. It's really difficult, almost impossible, to treat someone's addiction or mental health illness when they're living in a tent down by the river. We need housing for people. So the plan, Your Way Home plan, is about getting people into housing with wraparound supports. But right now, as I said a moment ago, the choke point in this plan, in making more progress faster, is there's just not enough housing units. So we're working very hard, the collective we, all of us, province, city, developers, to get more housing built and get people into housing. In the meantime, though, we just recently, as a council, we're bringing in a set of rules around encampments. Just because we don't have housing yet doesn't mean people that are homeless can or should feel free to camp anywhere. We just can't have that. And so we're bringing in rules to say we're not allowing encampments near playgrounds and parks, like where children are playing, close to rail bridges, close to roads, and some other places. And so those are some new rules to say we understand. Some people have to maybe sleep in a tent overnight, but you can't have your tent set up where kids are playing.
Thank you so much for addressing that. If you don't mind, really quick, since we're on this topic anyway, addressing the issue of homelessness is housing as the answer, but finding affordable housing just for the general population is also a bit of an issue. Is that kind of in the works as well? Is this part of this?
It's not specifically part of addressing homelessness. I mean, it's all tied together. We've been working as a city on getting more affordable and deeply affordable housing units built. A few years ago now, time flies, but the federal government brought out a program called the Housing Accelerator Fund. In short, the city of Winnipeg, we were able to access $122 million of federal money. And the city of Winnipeg gets that money from the federal government. We as a city, we administer the program, and we've provided incentives for developers on their projects, a $2 million here, $4 million here, $5 million here, to build multifamily units, and some of those units have to be affordable. So they're for rent. They could be, in one building, for example, across from City Hall, where the old police headquarters was, the old public safety building, there's an apartment building going up there. In that one apartment building, there'll be at-market rent units, affordable units, and deeply affordable units. And the beauty of it is that you may be paying at market rent. I might be the neighbor next door paying a deeply affordable rent, but you and I don't know that. So we're just neighbors. Totally. And the beauty of it is that it's not about, what you can afford and I can afford, and you're not living in, one part of town. I'm living in a different part of town because of the levels that I can afford. We're living, as neighbors, all under one roof. And that's the beauty of that program.
Community coming together.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. The City of Winnipeg just released this year's budget showing the deficit not as bad as first thought. How do you feel about that?
Well, before I became the mayor, I was a city councilor for 8 years, and for 6 of those years was the chair of the finance committee. So this is pretty typical that we get quarterly reports on our forecast, our financial forecast for the year. Usually by halfway through the year, the second quarter, we're projecting a deficit. And most years, if the snow doesn't fall, if there's not too much snow in the late fall, most years we'll see improvement in the second half of the year. My hope, obviously, is that we would continue to see improvement. But it's not just a hope. For that to happen, our departments have to control their expenses and do a good job of managing their budgets. And so the full expectation is every department will control its expenses and come in on budget. So our hope, and plan and work is that the financial picture of the city continues to improve until we get to year end.
Amazing. As we head into fall, there's a new school season. I'd love to know any exciting things happening for Winnipeg as we head in.
Well, it is a new school year, so just a reminder to all the motorists, watch out for the kids, that are heading to and from school. People are still cycling. People love to cycle, so please watch for cyclists. Let's have everyone be safe out there. One of the things that my big focus is improving safety in Winnipeg and calling on the federal government to change the bail laws so that repeat violent offenders and repeat offenders are not out on our streets, breaching their court orders. So I've been hammering that. I will continue to hammer that. And we're working with the mayors of Brandon, Mayor Fawcett, Mayor Knox of Portage Prairie. Too often what we have is we have the same individuals who are committing crime over and over again. They get arrested by our police, they go before a judge or the courts, and they're back on the street. That can't happen. I'm calling for a change. We need a safer city. We need a safer community. I'm not a lock 'em up, throw away the key guy. I'm a compassionate guy. I believe people can change. We all believe that people's lives can be transformed. However, until that happens, individuals, cannot be permitted to be out continuing their criminal activity among us. The public safety has to be a priority of the courts, of the judges, of the federal and provincial governments, and victims have to be a priority over the criminals. So we need a safer community. I'm working hard to make sure the laws are changed, calling on the federal government to change the laws on bail and sentencing reform so that our streets are safer.
Love that. Is there anything else that you wanted to share today?
No, just again, it's great to be here. Thanks for the opportunity, and happy birthday, happy anniversary. And I know that the year ahead will be exciting for CHVN.
Absolutely. Well, we really appreciate you making time. Thank you.
Thank you.